So let's talk about the retirement age of 70 years old. Jag vill arbeta intill jag är halvfjerds år. Jag tänker arbeta intill måske intill jag blir 30 eller max 35. Switch to English because I don't know if I'm going to do this video in Danish or in English, but I think it's better with English. So everyone could understand what I'm trying to say here. And I'm not so sure if there's going to be a subtitle or translation for Danish automatically. So they are trying to have a law or trying to suggest that the new retirement age for Denmark will be 70 years old. Right now it is 67 years old, but they're thinking by the year 2035 that we're going to have a longer life. In Denmark, I have met a 105 years old lady while I was working as a caregiver. So it is not impossible to live up to 100 in Denmark. It's clean in Denmark. They have a good nature, clean environment, not that much pollution. They have nature. They also have access to food, good food, vegetables, salad, everything, So there's a lot of Danish or a lot of people who's living in Denmark who could live up to 100. In the Philippines, we only have life expectancy, I think, if I'm not mistaken, around 50 to 60 years old. I'm thinking about this age, I'm not saying it's a fact, but based on the people around me that I know that only live up to 63, 60. My dad died when he was 63, and some of the people I know, most of them, they died during 60s or 70s. So that's why I'm thinking the life expectancy in Philippines is not the same. That's why the retirement age there is also from 60 to 65. I'm not so sure if it's going to change like what they're expecting here in Denmark, that it's going to be longer. Not sure. I doubt that it's going to change, especially now with the internet, that people are mostly not playing outside. They're mostly staying inside. And like when we were kids, we always just play outside. We don't have internet. But back to Denmark. 70 years old, I don't want to use all of my youthfulness, all of my energy working for other people. So I would probably still be active by that age. I'm still going to do a lot of stuff. Hopefully, I'm going to have my own farm, or I'm just going to do plant. Wait. So I'm not going to use all of my years. I don't know how long I'm going to live. We don't know how long are we going to live if we're going to live up to 100. I would be happy if I reach 80 years old. Not sure if I'm going to stay in Denmark at that age. I'm also not so sure. But I'm pretty sure I'm still going to do something. I'm still going to be physically active as long as I could, and mentally active. So I'm still going to do something, some activities, or physically and mentally. Because I know being a caregiver, I think what I've learned from that work is that, life is so precious, and that you have to be physically and mentally active, hopefully, to prevent dementia and other physical sickness. And of course, no vice, no cigarettes and liquors are occasionally fine, but not alcoholic, are most likely you're going to have I remember the Danish series or Danish episode I've watched where there was 100-year-old lady who's drinking every day, but she still reached up to 100. And I think she's also smoking. But it's not possible. And I think in Denmark, the life expectancy of a female or ladies are longer than men. As also I've observed when I was working as a caregiver here that there's more ladies than men. So there's more female than men. Like 3 men out of 7, 8 female that I worked for before when I was a caregiver. So yes, we have a longer life. I don't know how long I live, but I don't wanna like, imagine 70 years old. I mean, maybe we will live long, but I don't think you were physically in condition at that age. I'm not saying that, because right now you're already starting to like, now I'm started to use Les Umbrella, reading glass, that's what they say. That's also what I've learned from the patient I took care before. She was 100-year old. I asked her about her food. How's the food? How's the food? Did it taste good? And she said she could not taste anything because that's part of growing old. You were losing all your senses. So I'm not going to work up to 70 years old. I'm just going to work until maybe 60, max 65. Hopefully, by that time, I am rich and I could manage to survive without working. Hopefully, but I don't think I'm not going to focus on earning money at the time. I'm just focusing on living my life and enjoy the last decade, maybe, of my life. So no, I'm not going to work up to 70 years old. If you want to work up to 70 years old, go ahead. But yes, no, I'm not going to do that. Bye.